Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us in groanings which cannot be uttered. He that searcheth the hearts knoweth that what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of the Most High.
Yep. That's speaking about Yahweh. He made intercession for the saints. We want to make an intercession for the saints, meaning he's on the right hand side, basically pleading our cause as a lawyer to the judge, Yahweh. Okay? Hey, they're doing their work. They're on the highways. Hey, they're out there prophesying. You know? Go ahead.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them that who are called according to His purpose.
Right?
For whom He did foreknow, He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of His Son.
See, so it's two images. We gotta have the image of Yahweh on us, and not the image of the beast. And by keeping the image of Yahweh on us, is by doing this work, by speaking the things of prophecy, by speaking the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, the oracles, man. Okay, go ahead.
That He might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Right.
Moreover, whom He did predestinate, them He also called. And whom He called, them He also justified.
See, so whom He called, like He called Isaiah, like He called us, He justified. Go ahead.
And whom He justified, them He also glorified.
Yep, and that's going to happen in the end. That's what we want. We want to be glorified with Yahweh. Okay, go ahead.
It says, what shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us?
See, if the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Go nobody, right? Go ahead.
That's right. It says, he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
Go ahead.
Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifies.
See, the Lord just now going back to Isaiah. All right, he put the tongues in his mouth. So everything from that point on, it was going to be out of the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So everything that we're saying is justified. So we're basically innocent. The thing that we're saying is going to be innocent, because you got to understand that this devil is going to try to put the whole spin on it as if we're evil, we're wicked, you know. But by speaking the words, and this only, we're going to be blameless. Okay? We're going to be blameless by the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. We're justified. Because the tongues that was put on, the clothes that was put on our mouth, right? All of us, those that's doing this truth, and that's speaking the 100% doctrine, according to Yahweh Shemel Shai, beginning with our elders, apostles of Great Millstone, those that are speaking this word is justified, man. So when we get to the persecution stage, the modern day persecution, or some brothers may be put in front of different presidents or the president or the goddamn mayor or governor or whatever district or city, and get questioned, everything we said out of our mouth is going to be justifiable, man. So if they make us a martyr and kill one of us, we're justified. Okay, we're innocent. See. This devil wants us to be blamed. That's why he's accusing us. Hey, they're guilty. They're guilty. They're doing this, but we're not. The elect is not guilty of nothing. We're justified by the word. Go ahead, you got something?
It's already been prophesied that we're going to get the victory over the accuser.
Yep.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength,
yep,
and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down,
yep,
which accused them before the Most High day and night.
See, but we're blameless. He can't accuse us of shit. We didn't do nothing but speak the words of the Yahweh Shemel Shai. All we did was stand on these corners and four corners of the earth, chief place of concourse, and we read out the Bible. We're fucking blameless. Okay.
The main thing you're gonna try to accuse us on is being terrorists, man.
Yep.
You know, speaking about coming against violently to overthrow the government.
Yep.
Which we already, put it out there that hey, we don't take up the sword, man. You know, the works of our warfare are not carnal.
But he's gonna bring up false accusers.
Yeah, you gonna the same way they did with Yahushua.
Yep.
They brought up plenty false witnesses against him to accuse him.
They did it to Paul,
God.
and they were still justified by sticking to the script. Once you go off of the script, then you're not covered. A lot of guys is going off of the script. You see?
Zealots.
A lot of not even just the zealots. Well, the zealots is really the ones that's want to go out and destroy the Roman Empire all over again. But you still got these false prophets that they ain't about rising up against the government, but they're speaking false doctrine. Okay, they're guilty. The mark of the beast is the RFID chip. You got people out here, other camps that's not speaking about that, or some camps know about it, but they're not prophesying about it. So they're going to be guilty. You know, see, they're going to be guilty.
It's a little bit more.
Yep.
Verse 11 it says, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, Yahushua, and by the word of their testimony, and loved not their lives unto the death."
See, and by the word of their testimony. See, you go Revelation 6 and 9, it says that which the testimony which they held. We got to hold on to the testimony. The testimony is the things that we witnessed and through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, these prophecies that's happening today, and we're testifying to those things, man. So our testimony is true. All right? Go ahead.
Hey, and two, just to add to the point, you know, you say love not their lives unto the death, because death can't separate you from the blessing, you know. Ultimately, like the scripture say, you know, that works do follow, you know. So our righteous works are gonna follow us. We're still gonna be rewarded regardless. Like Paul says, to live is a Mashiach, to die is gain.
Yep.
So either way, this devil come with, you know. Verse 12 it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time."
And that's what's going to happen. That's why the persecution is going to come. That's why they got these, they're setting up these false terrorist attackers. Okay, like that nigga Othello, and which through the spirit we peeped him out. We peeped that dude out damn near 2 months ago. You see? Now it was the spirit. All right, we were speaking about this dude Othello with the not fucking around crew, the NFC, 2 months ago, and we highlighted him 2 months ago through the spirit. We didn't put it out there, but brothers highlighted that dude, and what 2 months later, now he's shooting somebody in the fucking head. Now they're saying he's an Israelite. The spirit is dealing with us, man. All right, the spirit is completely dealing with us. All right, go ahead. Some more.
All right, I think that's...
You had a quick precept? Go ahead and then let the brother go.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 1. A psalm of David. It says, "Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile." So, going into what the brother was saying earlier, you know, the elect, you know, and we hope to be, you know, we hope to be of that number, you know. We're not going to be found with we're going to be blameless, you know. So this devil can't place any blame on us, man. That's why he has to, you know, get a crafty, you know.
See, what the devil's gonna do is he's gonna try to get an agent to come around, get a part of the camp, and that agent's gonna be a part of the camp. He's gonna be spewing out nothing but bullshit, shit that we're not even down with, not even not affiliated with. All right, and then you're gonna get it on camera, and then you're gonna say this is a GMS camp, this is this camp, this is the Hebrew Israelite camp. That's what that nigga Vocab did. A Hebrew Israelite shoots a Florida cop in the head. That nigga ain't claim about being an Israelite. He don't go out on the highways and hedges. You know what I'm saying? He don't go prophesy. He don't go teach. He ain't got no YouTube channel about how he's an Israelite. Nothing. It was a complete setup. The nigga was seen with one shirt on with fucking fringes on. With a fucking gun. It was all it's an imagery deception. It's imagery deception. And all the followers and everybody gonna be looking at it, and then they're gonna, oh, they're evil, they're this, they're that. That's building that false case upon us, man. got it.
That was it.
Yeah.
You mentioned spot, right? Galatians 2:4 says, and that because of the false brother unawares brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty.
Yep. Spy out our liberty, figure out what we're speaking about. You know, that's what they did to the Black Panthers. You know, to figure out what their doctrine was. You know, what their knowledge was, their science. Then they go back and report. You know,
William O'Neill.
William O'Neill. You know, that's what they're doing. They tried it already. And hell, we say it all the time. It could be agents in Great Millstone, man. Deep undercover. What's that nigga name from Into Deep? I forgot that nigga name, man.
Did he play on Juice?
No, Into Deep. Yeah, Omar Epps.
Omar Epps.
But what was his name though? Into Deep. He said, "You ain't no cop." He ain't no cop. Damn, man, I can't think of that nigga name. Was it Reed? I think it's Reed. I forgot his name. Yeah.
This back in Galatians 2:4 said, and that because of the false brother unawares brought in, who came in private to spy out our liberty, which we have in Hamashiach Yahushai, that they might bring us into bondage. So you got a lot of informants, man. You know what I'm saying? These different camps too, man. You know? And you gotta basically like watch who you bring in.
Yeah, that's dealing with false brothers coming in unawares, you know, becoming, you know, basically tyrants, you know, basically it's trying to, well, that's more so those is trying to get us to go back into that, the Old Testament, you know, the law, you know. This is our liberty. It teaches the doctrine that we have is our liberty. It separates us from the world.
Well, I lit up this word false narrative, because that's what it's all trying to push forth. The false narrative about this movement. It says some dishonest narrative lines deliberately cast doubt on someone's motives.
Well, this is how, and that's what Vocab Malone is pushing, you know. And then you got different factions that's working behind the scenes, trying to help push, you know, the false narrative on who we are. But like the brother's going into, we justify. You know, the word that we have is pure, no matter how. And you know what it brings? It brings that that infamous that fame, our fame that's going to be spread. You know, because we're gonna be the infamy of the world. You know, we're gonna be the infamy of the world, and the world's gonna hate us. So that's bringing about that as well. You know, being hated from the Lord's namesake.
God. It says this tactic doesn't so much shoot the messengers of the unwelcome truths as assassinate the characters. You know, so they just want to assassinate our character.
Yep.
You know, to put us in the public eye, to use their witchcraft and media, you know, to paint a false narrative.
Hey, but what the scriptures say? Look, but what the scriptures say? It says that we're supposed to be a spectacle before men and angels. You know, and in other words, this really is the proving ground, so to speak. You know, and even with that, the Lord is refining us. You know. So yeah, everything is working toward the righteousness of the Lord.
You can do nothing against the truth before the truth.
That's right.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Oh, this is some more going into false witnesses and so forth. This is Mark 14 and 55. It says, and the chief priests and all the council sought for to witness against Yahushua to put him to death, and found none. For many bear false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together.
Yeah, right.
So you got people come up, and their stories is all fucked up. You know? And they arguing amongst each other and shit. Hey, no, you supposed to say this.
That show you the spirit of the enemy, because that's the only angle they can take is to lie.
Exactly.
You know, just like Haman. I remember brothers talking about Haman.
Yeah, God.
He had to bear false witness against Mordecai.
Yep.
And all of our people, for that matter.
Yep. And what that Agagite did, Haman the Agagite, what he did was he tried to set up Mordecai to be hung on the gallows. And at the end of the story, he was ended up being hung. He hung up on the gallows, man. Speaking about the elites, all right? They dig the dicks which they're gonna lay in. Okay? You know, that's why the scripture says you can't do nothing against the truth before it. All this thing that you're pushing out, trying to come up against us and make us look bad, is gonna backfire on you.
So much as it don't matter. That's what I said last time. For the fucking camp, for the interruptions. It don't matter. It doesn't matter how you try to overthrow us, man. You're not.
You can't. It's impossible. Because the scripture says, when 2 or 3 gather, there am I in the midst. So Yahweh Shah's in the midst of this. You think he's gonna let us just be through? Let us just get fucked up? Let the enemy take advantage of us, man? No. He said, the Lord is our shield. The righteous runneth into it and it's safe. You know? It's like, you know, you gotta get to this safe haven or wherever. A certain point where we're gonna call on the name of the Lord and he's gonna be our refuge, man. It says our shield and buckler. Alright? 90. Yeah.
Chapter 5, verse 11 reads, Blessed be when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven.
So we got a reward. You know? What Peter asked Yahweh Shah. You know, what are we gonna receive after these things? You know? You're gonna sit on 12 thrones, and those that forsake their mother, their father, their children, their lands, their house, this, that, and the third, you know, they're gonna sit with me, you know, and
You're gonna have 100-fold.
yeah, you're gonna get all that 100-fold, man. That's the reward that we're gonna get. And we can see it, man. We can see it because you gotta be able to see you in a kingdom. Alright? You gotta be able to see you with royalty. You gotta be able to imagine that you're righteous, 100%. You gotta have it in your head that kingdom minded, slaves, spiritual powers.
See?
You gotta be able to envision that shit, man. Not shit, but you know what I'm saying. You gotta envision that.
You gotta put your shit. You gotta walk in.
Yeah, you gotta like really have that in your mind, man. Okay.
Visualize it.
So when we're going through what we're going through, we know that that's the end result. That's that reward. So that's supposed to get us to keep on running, man. Philippians speak about pressing toward the mark. Somebody get that. Philippians about pressing toward the mark. Go ahead.
It says, continue reading, it says, For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Yep, so those that was 2,000 years ago, it happened to them. So in the regeneration, we're gonna go through those same experiences, just in modern day society level. That's it. Get pressed toward the mark. Go ahead.
This is Philippians 3 and 14. It says, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
See, so we press toward the mark of the high calling, man. We press toward that mark of the high calling of Yahweh Shai. We see the finish line, so we gotta press toward that mark.
First Corinthians 9 and 24. It says, Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain.
Woo! So run that ye may obtain it. What's the prize? You gotta run to that prize, man. We gotta run to the kingdom, basically.
What was it, 9 and 23? Was it 9 and 23? That was 9 and 23?
23. Icon. This 1 Corinthians 9:23. And this I do for the gospel's sake. I could have read that. That's
Go to 16.
16.
What is it, 16 or 13?
1 Corinthians 9:16. It says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory in. For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel.
Woe unto me, destruction unto me if we don't do this thing, man. Destruction unto me if I don't preach the gospel. So we have to come out here. We got to go back into Isaiah 6 because we're going to finish it up too. I ain't forget about that, but woe unto me if we don't preach the gospel.
Yep.
Meaning destruction. We have, the scripture says, who cannot prophesy, man? We're supposed to be out here speaking of the things to come. That's what all the prophets did. If we're trying to say that we're those same men coming into that same stead, well, we got to be doing the same thing that they did 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. We talking about Solomon, King David, Samuel. All right, talk about Tobit. Okay, they go back 3,000. Okay, further than that, different prophets and different empires kept. The Lord put them on the scene to declare the downfall of a particular empire. You know, Rome fell. Wait. The Syrian Empire, Babylonian Empire, the Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. Okay? And now we're here today.
Just that
Extension.
There was even one example too in the voice of the prophets in the cool of the day.
Yeah.
Spoke to Adam and Eve when they went off.
Yep.
That was the prophets back then.
That was the prophets, yep.
So it went way back.
Yep, I did a lesson already, like that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, quick precept to answer your point about prophets is always been
Well,
prophet.
before you make that statement, well, somebody real quick get because the brother brought out about the prophets in the pools of the day at sundry times.
Sun-dried.
Yeah, get that. But go ahead, you got it. Somebody just get that.
Jeremiah 28:8.
Yep.
The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
That's exactly the day. Prophesies of war, evil, and pestilence, man. Alright? This is the last kingdom, man. Yep. Alright? So this kingdom, you know what I'm saying, we bringing it down, the strongholds of the lives of Esau, man. You know?
And revealing the destruction of this place.
Yep.
So I got Hebrews 1:1.
Yep.
And it says, God who at sundry times, all right, and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
See? In time past into the fathers by the prophets. So spoken to who is the fathers? It's talking about the children of Israel. So the prophets always speaking into the fathers, who we are in the regeneration. The prophets speaking back to the Israelites over and over again in different time periods about the Lord, man.
I think when you go
It
to the
says
word
Enoch.
sundry.
Yeah, look it
Maybe
up.
I'm gonna go to the word sundry.
It says Enoch was a preacher of righteousness, man. Okay? They say, they say Enoch was Noah.
It said Noah.
The
Noah
righteous
was preachers of righteousness.
Yeah, Noah was a priest of righteousness. But Enoch prophesied, man.
Yeah.
I think that's in Peter. Where it speaks about that.
I got sundry.
Go ahead, you got it.
Sundry. I'm looking on the etymology online, and it says Old English sundry, separate, apart, special, various, distinct, characteristic, from sundor, separately, apart, asunder. So in different, distinct times. All right. Again, Hebrews 1:1. God who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Yep.
You know, so separate, apart, special,
Yep.
special times, various, distinct. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Check this out. Now this is dealing with Enoch, right? Right now, so this is Jude 1:14, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam. So we talking about the beginning. It's the seventh from Adam, right? Prophesied of these, saying, "Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all and and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their harsh speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. You see? So he was prophesying about Yahweh's return in the time of Enoch. He was speaking to the wicked and to the ungodly at that time period, man. Okay? These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, and their mouths speaketh great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. But beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken before of the apostles of our Lord Yahweh HaMashiach, how that they told you there should be mockers in the last time, who should walk after their own ungodly lusts. These be they who separate themselves, sensual, having not the Spirit. Is that not the same thing today? That's in the Enoch. So we had wicked, ungodly men and women out there going nuts in the time of the sons of God. Back into the times of that time, man. Going crazy. Those were the sons of God. They were the 2/3 of the day. It was prophesied that, hey, the 10,000s of the holy angels is gonna come, man. Who they're speaking? They're talking about Yahweh. Enoch was prophesying about Yahweh all the way back then. And we're doing the same thing now today. This is the last of it, though. This is the end of the prophesying. You know? All right, somebody else got something. Go ahead.
Oh, I got a precept because you was talking about the prophets. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So that's why the prophets come at each different generations. And that's why the generations before, like we was going into, Enoch and so forth, those are the prophets sent in different times. And we have to be the ones at this time to give the last vision, so to speak. Like the mark of the beast and so forth. That's one of the last things the prophets ever got to speak on.
That's how you know we're the end. That's it. You know, when you go into the Greek or Latin, revelation means apocalypse, right? Apocalyptos. So which meaning in the end. Don't they make these apocalyptic? It's called apocalyptic movies, meaning the end time movies. Well, that's Revelation. Revelation speaks about the end time was going to happen. You know?
Yeah, brother. And that scripture also proves reincarnation. Right. That's who we are. We the Lord's willing. You know, with the prophets coming back, literally doing the same thing. That was all of us. Yep. If you was doing something in the ancient world, you're gonna be doing that today.
Yep. What is scripture talking about? The regeneration.
Well, Daniel, I get it about the lot.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Daniel 12. 12 and 4. This is Daniel 12.
About where he said, seal the book up to the end.
I got it.
Give it you got.
It's Matthew 19 and 28. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man, all right, and that's going into reincarnation as well, all right? It says, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, all right, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? And we're pretty much heading into that. You know, that's what this is. Basically, you know, the Lord is going to save his elect men that was following him during his time, you know? And all we're doing is basically, you know, falling back into the same lot, you know?
Yep. I got something. This is Daniel 12 and 12. It says, blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 days. But go thou thy way till the end be. For thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of thy days. At the end of the days, man. So what the brother said.
That's why it goes into him being at rest, because he was going to die.
Yep.
Rest, meaning sleep.
Yep.
That's what Yahushua said about the little girl before he resurrected her, that she was asleep. So when Daniel rested, he died and went in the spirit world, but they say for him to come back.
Yep.
He's going to stand in his lot.
That's right. And we're at the last. And where you can go into Revelations 10:10 when it spoke about John the Revelator, the angel told him that he was going to come back and speak before many kings and kings again. Okay? So there's reincarnation. There's no historical proof that John the Revelator left the island of Patmos. You know? You know? So you got some ways.
Quick precept concerning, the prophets of the Lord, which are the mouthpieces of Yahweh Shai. Okay? This is another, precept to indicate that we're in the end, because the devil being revealed. It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." And that wicked is talking about Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. He being revealed through the mouthpieces of the Lord.
This is the time, ain't it? Look at all the information that's coming out on this devil, man, and has been coming out on this devil for ages, man. I mean, not for ages, but just recently, man. Last decade, last 30, 40 years. It's been an insurmountable expose on this man, on who he is, man. That ain't by coincidence. That's the Spirit of the Lord revealing this man, uncovering his skirts.
Yeah. Get
Yeah,
Isaiah. Yeah.
Skirt being lifted.
Yep. Skirt being lifted. Well, that's
This is the
what
time we live in,
yeah.
bro. This is the time we live in. You can't deny it. And then he's trying to hide information. He's trying to suppress information. Like you the devil. You a whole devil, man.
Not a half a devil.
You a whole devil.
That nigga's a whole devil.
Not a quarter.
Not three and 3/4.
A whole devil.
You a whole 6 6/4.
A whole milk
That ain't
devil.
even
66.6% devil.
No additives.
Hey, we almost out of here. That's
going down.
Well, you see what happened with Lil Nas X? You see what happened on Lil Nas X? I mean, on BET? Man, I got this man kissing the whole man at the awards show.
Yeah, BET Awards. On BET.
Yeah, it was a young Jake Negro. Somebody get a picture of Lil Nas X, man. Show him.
I'm tripping on the police down in Minnesota.
Oh man,
They only gave him 25 years for a murder.
Oh, what's up?
That's what I'm tripping on.
Oh, and before that, they had him, he had a dress on the red carpet.
The dude?
Yeah, Lil Nas X.
Yeah, this is him at the BET Awards. He's kissing the dude. He kissed one of his dancers.
yeah, man. No, it's just showing you the spirit of the world and what they pushing on the people. Esau went up on the level in his wickedness. So, I'm gonna say the repercussion of that is the time speeding up faster and faster. So the more wickedness this devil do, the faster he's leading to his own destruction. So
That's right.
the time that we in, man, is getting closer and closer to our salvation.
That's right.
Because he's speeding up his time.
One of the brothers brought up a heavy point about that Lil Nas X performance because he did the sodomite act and then but he had on the Egyptian garb. That's how his revelation go to the spiritually called Sodom and Egypt together for that.
See, and he was the poster child for it. That's your
Then
problem.
they had to be
That's
Jake.
a good point.
They had to
You
be
see
Jake.
what they doing? They fall right into the trap.
Esau makes it that.
Yeah.
See, Esau ain't stupid. Alright, that nigga know what he doing. Oh, this is the children of Israel. We finna put this an Egyptian ass fucking setting, and we finna make him do this sodomite shit. You know, they're deliberately doing these things. You know what I'm saying? They're actually. See, when Esau do that, this is his excuse to go accuse us. See, everybody looking at it, everybody paying attention, applauding, and they over there in the background praying to the Lord. Look what they doing. Look what they doing. You see? That's what the fuck. That's what's going on. They deliberately make Jake go off. They get Jake to love it, feel good about it, use the witchcraft to get Jake's minds manipulated with it, and then they'll go out and tell the Lord, Look, man, they don't deserve a blessing.
Right.
They don't deserve the birthright.
Right.
They're going off. Look what they're doing. That's what Cain been doing since the fucking beginning.
I've been thinking about that George Floyd case.
Yeah, but they've been thinking about that since Cain. All right, since Cain, they've been trying to find a way to cut out the sons of power. All right, that's why Cain slew Abel. All right, and then when he came back, well, we could really go back to the serpent. We go back to the serpent because the serpent knew who the sons of power was. He couldn't get Adam. He had to go through the woman.
Right.
And fucked it all up.
That's why the scripture goes through envy of the devil, sin entered into the world.
Yep.
That's talking about the serpent.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Sin
And
into the
is
world.
First John, is that First John?
I believe so.
Yep.
And for this purpose, the purpose for what's it? Yahweh Shai came into the world for this purpose, for the
Yep.
Son of Man.
So now when you go from the serpent, you speed up to Cain and Abel, and then you go into Adam and Eve. Then you go to Jacob and Esau. Now before they even got out the womb, they was out there tussling, fighting in the womb. You know. So as carnally as Esau is, he did, just kind of put your mind into it, extrapolate. This is just me. He had to do some cheap ass shot to try to get out the womb quick. Because what's the inheritance of the firstborn? When you are firstborn, what do? You get the inheritance of everything. So he tried to crawl his bitch ass up out of there.
So it could have been. That's why.
So he can get
Stepping on his head, pushing his head down, trying to. Yeah. That's why.
So he tried to get up out of there first, so he can get that inheritance. But through the spirit, grabbed that heel, and that was a signet.
Yeah, they came out together.
That was a signet. Him grabbing the heel, man.
Came out together.
He still didn't prevail.
Right.
Well, it was already prophesied the eldest should serve the younger.
Right.
So
Right before he came out.
you want to be the eldest. So
Exactly.
you got
See?
Scripture say that about Jacob. That he was predestined. We was predestined. Even
Yeah.
Before we was born.
Mm-hmm.
We had the.
That's
we had
Romans.
The Lord chose us.
Yep. Go ahead. You got it. I'm on.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and verse 23. It says, "For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Right.
They that do hold of his side do find it." That's going into sin.
Come.
That serpent in the garden was Esau, which he was envious. He
Yep.
was envious of Adam.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
same predicament these Edomites are in today now,
Yep.
because they hate Jacob for the birthright now.
Yep.
That's why Esau, he wanted to slay Jacob after he got the birthright.
Right, yep.
He was envious.
And
That was a heavy portion.
Yep.
They'll get that.
And that spirit trickles down all the way to the day. Because when he said,
Somebody get Ezekiel 35:5. I'm back.
no, you got it. He said, well, what did Esau say? He said, for the days of my father is at hand, that I will slay my brother Jacob.
You got it.
And that spirit vibrated all the way until now,
Yep.
You got it?
trying to slay his brother Jacob.
No, do you have it? Yeah. Go ahead, bring it up.
It's the book of Ezekiel 35:5.
When Esau
Oh,
said-
it's in 27. He talking. I get
Yeah,
the one you talking.
that's what Esau said.
Yeah, I was slayed by, get that. Yeah, con. Get that. And then get Ezekiel what you get, con.
This is Genesis 27:41. It says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Yep.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand."
Yeah, so when my father died,
It says, "Then will I slay my brother." And these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah.
see?
And she sent and called Jacob her son, her younger son, and said unto him, "Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee," meaning concerning you, "doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee."
See?
So he comforted himself, and it wasn't just. It was a perpetual thought, and that's basically what we're going into.
Lay it down in generation to generation.
That thought was an everlasting thought,
Hey,
So he passed it down to each one of his sons.
Yeah.
This
Well-
is your enemy.
hey, that movie with Denzel and that one dude.
Virtuosity?
Yeah, Virtuosity. When he was in jail, like
I don't know about that one.
meditating on getting back at Denzel. He just had his images and all that. Like that going to Esau. Like he was
Yeah.
just.
Well, okay, where did it stem from before Esau and Jacob?
Cain and Abel.
Nope.
I mean, the serpent.
The serpent.
Yeah.
Enmity between the woman's seed
that's right.
and thy seed.
That's right.
Okay? When you go into that word enmity, it means perpetual. And then when you go into Obadiah, it says, for thy perpetual hatred against thy brother Jacob. Proving on how that serpent, proving the serpent is Esau. Go ahead and get it.
Obadiah 1:10.
Yep.
It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee,
Yep.
and thou shalt be cut off forever.
This is the violence. This is part of that violence against thy brother Jacob. This is why shame is going to cover him.
Also, this, put a chip in.
Yep.
Shit, they giving him a shot.
Yep. What we've been talking about.
Come into free corner shot.
Yep.
They trying to take Jake's souls, man.
Yep.
They trying to take you Negro's souls, man.
What's that?
Johnson.
Johnson.
Johnson. That's Johnson Johnson. That's Johnson Johnson. That's Johnson Johnson, man.
Yeah, man. So the perpetual. So Salaki, Ezekiel 35.
Yep. Ezekiel. Yep.
35:5.
It's book of Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, and it reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Start at 1, Salaki.
God. Ezekiel 35, chapter 35, verse 1, and it reads, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it.
Right. Mount Seir represents Esau, Edom. Well, Esau, Edom represents Seir.
Yep.
Okay, because that was the land that was allotted to him from the Heavenly Father. All right, and it's a people before it's a place. So go ahead.
It says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Right. All right, and that's ultimately the judgment that the Most High is putting on Esau. That's his ultimate judgment. That's his end all be all judgment towards the nation of Edom. All right. Desolation, complete desolation. You got it.
I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
And that's how we know that, hey, the way you going out is by thermonuclear destruction. Okay?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Somebody go into the word perpetual.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Read it off. Go ahead.
In blue letter, this Olam, it says long duration, antiquity. Which when you go into antiquity, it's in former time, you know, back in the ancient world. It says
Ivalum.
Oh,
That's the Hebrew.
Well, you know, they say it like that.
Yes, Ivalum.
Okay. Ilawam. It says
really forever.
God.
That's what it really means, forever.
This is long duration.
Because that's the name of Elon. I believe his name is Ivalum. But it's talking about his youth. Also, because youth is like you being preserved, you know. So their hatred is preserved. Ivalum. Go ahead.
It says antiquity.
Antiquity. So this thing goes back. It goes back. That's
Ancient.
What it's saying. Yeah,
ancient.
It's ancient.
That's what the word antiquity means. It means
And we
ancient.
just read. Hey, well, I got y'all. Here we go. This is Slack. This is Hebrews. Let's see, 11 and 20. And it says, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. All right. So those blessings and the things that happened and the things that were said after the blessing, all right, those were concerning things to come. Okay?
Yeah.
You go ahead.
It says ancient time, long time, perpetual, continuous existence.
See, this is a continuing thing. That hatred continues. Okay? You got it.
It says everlasting, indefinite,
Indefinite.
or unending future.
So he indefinitely basically said that he was going to perpetually kill his brothers forever. So and they talk about our hatred, and then vocab alone just tried to last week just tried to say what love thine enemies, you know. It's like where was the love of Esau when we was down and out, when we was in slavery? Where was his love? Right, he didn't have no love. Okay. He continued to keep that hatred. He didn't spare us.
Yep.
You know? You got it.
Well, ain't it scripture to say
Well-
you have war with Amalek from generation to generation?
Yeah. Well, part of that is slavery, eugenics, Planned Parenthood, you know, AIDS and AIDS in the black community, crack in the 80s. I always keep talking about that crack in the 80s, man, because that crack in the 80s, man, that fucked Jerusalem up.
That was
That really fucked Jerusalem up, man. That crack in the 80s. The violence, the people was being slaughtered and killed, and the men was in prison, the woman was on crack, the grandmother was on crack, the daddy was on crack, or the uncle was on crack, and then the children, the crack babies, they just had to fend for them fucking selves, man. You know? You know? And you know, and it led to what we go through now today, man. It's straight trauma from the 80s, man. Because that was a hard blow to Jake. Because in the 70s, we was in a sense of a little bit of uprightness. You go back a little bit to the 60s, we was in a being as one people. You know? Like in the time of Malcolm X, right? In the time of Malcolm X in the 60s, right? 50s and the 60s, they were, you know, Jake was a little bit upright. They spoke, you know, quote unquote proper, you know. The women wasn't chaotic back at that time, you know. Men knew how to fucking use sentences and speak, you know. 50s and the 60s, but when that 80s hit, that 80s really transitioned Jerusalem to be destroyed. Like, think about it. Think about the transition of the 50s, the 50s, the 60s to the 70s.
Well,
70s,
you know
the feel good, the Sam Cooks, you know.
That black exploitation go hand in hand with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because they basically prep Jake's mind to be.
Because they seen
in
the
that type of
uprising. They
mindset.
seen
Yeah, exactly.
well, Ezekiel 37 when it speaks about the bones coming together without the breath.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the different gangs coming together. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X and all of them trying to, you know, we're gonna fend for ourselves. We were, you know, quote unquote black and proud. We're, you know, upright. So, oh hell no, we can't let these niggas begin to start, you know, feeling good about themselves. So we gotta bring in the crack. We gotta bring in NWA.
Divide and conquer.
You know?
Divide and conquer.
Yep. Yep.
Kill your brother.
Yeah. Tupac, gangster rap, thug, and all that shit.
Yeah, and they finished it off.
It's really easy on what the fuck that devil did though, but it's a long perpetual evil from that's leading all the way to the day. Till the day we still go through that.
And then they're trying to finish us off with this gay agenda.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
See? He never let this shit go.
He never let up.
He never let it go.
He never let up.
So that's how we know. In the scriptures on point, we should have war, Amalek, each generation.
Yeah. And that
We
nigga
still
never let
war
up.
with these motherfuckers. They're behind.
They behind the
culture
projects.
they behind this wicked mindset of Jake. That's why we say they're genetically modified. You Negroes are genetically modified versions of Esau, man. You know?
Well, what Jake do in the hood, you know, and selling drugs, Esau do that on the grand scale. He the ultimate drug dealer.
Yeah, States
Yeah.
government is the biggest drug
Set
dealers
him
on the
up.
planet Earth. You know?
Drug traffickers.
Hey, Britain, in the 1800s, man, they went to China to take all the opium, and what did they do to the Chinese? They forced that upon them. You know?
Brothers was bringing out this fact heavy a few weeks ago, but this was a few years ago. There was like a J.P. Morgan ship that had like $2 billion in cocaine, something like that. So
Yeah.
That's
I
like a
remember that.
banker ship. So that's showing you these higher ups. They the real drug dealers. They
Yeah.
Man, they got bare ships
Buku
just with
money.
$2 billion in drugs on it. Just, not just one ship. You know?
It's a movie that
You know that was
it's a movie, I guess, about that. These two rich kids, and their father owned a shipyard or something like that, or a ship, and they was just
Yeah, but
shipping
that
drugs
movie,
to the Italian
to the
mob,
day,
from the
Jake
Italian
loved that
mob
movie. Our people
to
love
the,
that movie.
Yeah,
because
they
it's about
do.
selling drugs
to
and killing each other.
Colombia and all of that. So yeah, it's a movie that actually depicts what the brother's saying.
But
Yep.
when you hear the true story, it make your stomach like.
Yeah,
like,
some
damn,
evil shit. Yeah,
They
yeah.
really did that.
Yeah.
Because it's the movie just a cover up.
God,
But what they actually did in real life, you'll be like, damn,
Yeah.
them niggas was wicked, bro.
Yeah.
Like you want to be like them? Killing motherfuckers over some.
Yeah. But
Oh, that was wicked, man.
that's the mentality that they pushed on us with all the movies. You had you got Paid in Full, you got Juice, you got New Jack City, you got Belly, you got Scarface, you got Shot Us. So everything they take is looking at like, oh shit, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. You know?
They kidnapped
Basically all
the boy.
negativity.
That's it.
Or negativity.
Yeah, negativity. Yeah, a number of negativity. You know? Oh yeah, Snowfall. You know? And in fact now in Snowfall, right? It's depicted as it's a series. It's off now. But
Oh, okay.
it's depicted as a police officer being a bitch ass nigga. Like they make it the police officer, the dude who lived next door to him, but his daughter got on the drugs. You know? He's trying to keep the neighborhood good. But they'll make him off. Here come that bitch ass police officer. But they'll praise Franklin. You know?
The one that sprayed the drugs.
Yeah, he's spreading the drugs. He out there murking niggas now. He out there getting people to murk niggas. But that image is glorified. But the police officer who didn't want none of that shit going on in his community, and he was so much against it because now his daughter, who's supposed to be going to college, smart ass fucking chick, now the bitch on fucking drugs now. You know? So, but they're putting the images, oh, he a bitch ass goddamn dude,
Right,
you know
but
what I'm saying? He's trying to keep things safe, right?
He's trying to keep the filth out.
Yep.
You know, but that shows you the double standard and the hypocrisy.
Same woke niggas love that movie.
Yep.
And love the role of Franklin.
Yep.
You know?
I never even seen
When
that.
Franklin
Yeah,
is the
Snowfall,
perpetrator.
yeah. It's pretty good, you know, for pastime entertainment. But you know, we see the understanding of it.
Amalek had all the keys.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, they selling. It's all about drugs.
All about drugs. Young Jake coming up into drugs, selling keys and stuff for an Italian dude. Come and find out that Italian mafia dude actually worked for the fucking government.
Setting them up.
That's it.
Well, you know, Jake, I got a precept for that.
Yep, you got it.
Because Jake just mimicking what Esau is perpetuating. I mean, is doing. You know?
Oh, somebody get Wisdom of Solomon 4:11.
What Jake do in the hood is just a microcosm to what Esau do on a wide scale.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? This
Well,
is
as long as he can keep the bifocals on you in the
Right.
mainstream media, he can go behind closed doors and do whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
Right. On a large scale. That's what they've been doing.
We saw that earlier.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah,
Take
and
it front, they back here doing everything. Take
Yeah.
it front.
you Jake at the scapegoat. You know, we go that word scapegoat. You know, somebody you put in the forefront while you in back behind the scenes doing wicked.
Yep. It's the beauty product.
This is
Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, Con.
real quick. The book of John, chapter 8 and 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil. The lust of your father you will do." It's talking about 2/3 of the nation of Israel. With the Israelites, they are their father, the devil.
That's
Esau.
right. That's right.
You know?
That's right.
It says, you know, and a son are gonna do what the father do.
Yep.
It says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. So Esau, he the murderer and the liar. You know, when we go in that word devils, diablos in the Greek meaning deceiver.
Now, who was a murderer from the beginning?
Okay.
Cain, yeah.
Cain. He was the first one to commit murder. So he told him, "You niggas is like Cain." He told Jake, "Y'all niggas is just like Cain." That's bad. The children of light is as the children of dark. Go ahead.
It says, because there is no truth in him.
Yep.
It says, when he speak of a lie, he speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Yep.
You know, like
When he asked, where your brother at? He said, "Shit, am I my brother's keeper?" He a fucking liar from the beginning.
Yep. And also, don't forget about that movie Sugar Hill.
Yeah, Sugar Hill. Yep.
With,
Look, you talking about New Jack City or Sugar Hill?
Sugar Hill with
Wesley
Snipes and that other guy, I forgot his name.
Yep.
Bald head dude.
Well, his brother.
Eddie Kane. Oh, no.
His brother.
His brother.
Yeah. You never seen the movie before?
Yeah, I seen it.
Alright, it's Wesley Snipes and his brother.
Yeah.
His brother was mad because he wanted to lead the game.
Right, yeah.
So they ended up fighting each other and his brother ended up getting shot. With Wesley Snipes.
New Jack City.
No, Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill.
It's a different one. Yeah.
His
Sugar
daddy, his pops was a dope fiend.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they were selling in the community.
In the community. Harlem, New York. That's
Yep.
the main. That's the main hub of hustlers.
Yeah.
Right there in that
All them stories from Harlem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nicky Bonds, Frank Lucas.
Yep. All niggas. Yep. Frank Lucas. Yep.
Yep. Luke and Dookie. Go
Hey,
ahead.
they all in that same.
Go ahead. Go. Wisdom of Solomon. Go ahead, bro.
Prior is Wisdom of Solomon 4:11.
Yep.
It says, "Yes, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding."
Now they're speaking about Enoch, but we could put ourselves in this position as well. Yea, speedily was he taken out of the way. Okay. So wickedness wouldn't alter his understanding. Go ahead.
Or beguile, or deceit beguile his soul.
Yeah, man. Because that's what Esau's doing. He's beguiling the minds that are simple, the sheep. Okay. So Enoch had to get. The Lord said, "No, you gotta get the fuck up out of this time. I gotta translate you up out of here." You know. So that's what's finna happen to us. We about to get translated up out of here, so wickedness won't beguile our soul. Cause you think if we got damn 60 years old from now, you know, another 60 years, man, we'll be weak, feeble as fuck in the flesh. Especially with all the hell that's going on right now. Imagine this place going on for another 50 fucking years. Come on, man.
The niggas ain't took over yet.
You know?
Think about what happened to Solomon.
You got weak. Yep. You got weak. You know? So go ahead.
They said this place ain't even last for the next
What?
week.
The Lord, well, that's why the Lord said no flesh shall be saved. So the Lord got to get us up out of here. Go ahead.
It says, "For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest,
Yep.
and the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind."
See? The concupiscence, which is a wicked, illicit, evil lust. And it'll undermine the simple mind. And that's through the media. You know? That's that witchcraft tool. So we can see it, and we can have it in our subconscious, and out of nowhere we just speaking the things that these niggas is saying.
Yeah, so Esau, well, really he's we call it soliciting. You know how you get, how it's in America it's bad. It's Edomites don't like they're like not bill collectors, but people will call your house and they'll solicit you. Well, Esau is doing it with his media, deceiving people with his media. And he think there's nothing like, what I'm saying? It's the highest form of deception, and he think like can't nobody say nothing to do nothing about it, But the Lord's calling you out.
That's right.
I'm gonna make this point when it says the bewitching of naughtiness. That showed you that this.
Yeah, I'm doing today, man.
Oh, good,
all
bro.
that media is witchcraft.
Yep.
Because that's bewitching your mind to get you to believe in the lie. Like
Yep.
right now, he's talking about taking the jab.
Yep.
That's
That's
the
them
biggest.
bewitching you to do something that's wrong.
Yep. And eventually it's gonna lead up to that mark. It's gonna lead up to that incision. All right, that stigma.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I got a quick definition.
Go ahead,
Term for that.
If any,
Propaganda.
after this, anybody got something else, then we close it out.
Because he pushing, promoting, pushing out a certain agenda through his propaganda.
Oh, yeah.
It says in Google propaganda, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. So, the information, all the information that you putting in this media, to cast spells by broadcast, is to mislead the minds of the people.
Right, because we ain't seeing nobody.
Broadcasting.
They talking it's a new variant. They talking about it's a new variant. We ain't seeing people fall out and die in the street. Ain't nobody. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. But they using a form of hysteria. They gonna say on their news station like it's just things are just corrupt. Like things are just bad. Just goddamn, we can't breathe out here. I mean, just blatantly lying, man. God damn.
You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Fibbing like a hoe. It's fibbing. Telling stories. Literally. Go ahead, you got it.
That's an old school.
Yeah. You telling stories.
Oh, we couldn't say lie.
We couldn't say lying. We had say you telling the stories.
Pop in the mouth and say lie.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yep, as soon as they come out. They come out. Yep.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Extreme is separated.
Yeah.
They're separated from the womb. Well, what was told unto them? That the two manner of people should be separated from their bowels. So that's
even though they
that.
were brothers, they were gonna be two different.
So there's going to be a wicked when he's estranged from the womb. He's going to be separated out the womb, and he's going to be the wicked.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Yep. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Yep. Esau.
Yeah.
Because he was the one who was separated.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
That show you he's the serpent as well too. Going back to the serpent in the garden.
Yep.
Once again,
That's it.
Full circle.
Exactly. That's it.
Dave, you're exposed.
Let's talk about that.
The jig is up, nigga. It's over with. The jig is up. You've been found wanting. Hey, the jig is up. Is that it? Is it? All right. You sure you got it up?
Alright. Like to get all praise and glory, honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakodash.
Double honors to Apostles, Great Millstone, that rule will, peace, salutation to the hope elect, doing
Right.
the work of truth, sincerity. Above the ball.
Above the ball.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Willing next week.